is Monday, and welcome to the week ahead. We have Andrew Work.
Hey, Vincent, good to see you.
早晨. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
So, how do you want to start first?
I want to start with sharks.
Sharks.
We're starting with the sharks.
Yeah. Dead sharks in Ocean Park.
Dead sharks in Ocean Park, which is really too bad. Obviously it's a medical thing, it's a biological thing, it's an animal thing, but there's going to be a political dimension as well. Right. We're here to look at politics. I don't know what some people just love to jump on Ocean Park and give them a beating whenever they can. Claudia Mo in particular, I don't know why. Why she thinks that's a vote getter to be on Ocean Park every time something happens. So people should be watching to see if Claudia Mo and other people are hammering on Ocean Park again today. Really.
There are two groups of legislators.
Yeah.
One group kind of like to hammer on Ocean Park.
Yeah.
The other group wants to hammer on Disneyland.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
For one time, I'm just thinking maybe one group is the fan of one park, and then the other group is the fan of the other.
Well, yeah, you haven't seen. Yeah, there's a lot of attacking.
Silly.
I haven't seen any defense.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. This has been really weird. Like, sharks dying all over the place. There's so many going so fast. It's got to be a cancer or something got into the water. But if it was something in the water, it would have affected more fish. So it's probably
more
a virus.
Sharks at least.
Yeah, it's probably quite likely a virus hitting them. But I'm not here to make the biological call. I'm not in there. But there's other sharks in Hong Kong. Of course, there's the sharks in the world of finance.
All right.
And
loan sharks.
all kinds of the other sharks, loan sharks. But the really high level sharks are our financial secretary is going to head up to Beijing with Casey Chan, the secretary for financial services and the Treasury, and Norman Chan for the HKMA. They're going up to Beijing to learn how they can better coordinate controlling the financial sharks with their Beijing counterparts. China has no shortage of sharks. They haven't eaten them all. The financial ones are still swimming around that country. But the other thing is that it's funny, while they're gone, the LegCo Committee on Financial Affairs is going to be discussing enlarging the bureaucracy for finance. And this is interesting because there's two things. They're going to create a new post for the TIEA, Tax Information Exchange Agreement. They're basically going to be expanding the bureaucracy for that with the creation of high-level civil servant positions. This is obligations the Hong Kong government has incurred to other places in order to release our financial data to other countries on request. David O'Rear, previous edition of Harvard Times, he brought it up and he said, the government tells us there's going to be safeguards, but some of the countries they hand information over to are then required by their treaties to hand it over to a third party yet again. So supposedly this new bureaucracy is going to be about controlling that and trying to figure out the complexity of that. But bottom line is we're getting more bureaucracy in Hong Kong so that we can give our private information away to people in other countries.
You've mentioned that before.
I have brought it up. It's an important issue.
With the Snowden case as a background.
Yeah.
This definitely need to be, at least need to think twice.
Yeah.
Within the Legislative Council.
Yeah, they're going to be looking at this, but it seems like it's pretty much a done deal, and now they're just creating the bureaucracy to go with it. The other bureaucracy, there's going to be another addition to the bureaucracy today. This is going to issues right here in Hong Kong. When they brought in the stamp duties, right? Talking about the stamp duties, when they first brought those in, they said, these are going to be a temporary measure. But today they're going to be approving permanent directorate level, what they call supernumerary posts to handle the complexity of the stamp duties. So basically what they're saying is, we said it was going to be temporary, but we are putting in a permanent bureaucracy to administer the increased complexity of stamp duty. And what does that tell us?
Well, on the other hand, if you don't have such a mechanism, or if you don't have such an instrument, then chances are, despite they can say it's temporary, they don't have a formal system to call a stop in it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. I mean, if you don't have such an instrument, then they can just prolong it as long as they can. Now they have this instrument, at least there might be a possibility of this instrument will say, okay, we've reached this level of sales, or it dropped to such a level, then it's kind of like a thermometer.
A little bit, but they are putting it's a little bit like the beer and wine.
I know you're a strong opposition against the XSD. Yeah. But my take is that if you don't have such an instrument, the bureaucracy as a whole didn't know when to stop, and they were just, because of their inertia, they would just continue.
Yeah. Well, I
Sometimes it's just like this.
Well, the thing is, I don't think they'll ever give it up. They'll make it like the beer and wine tax, which actually still exists. They just set it at 0. Right? So the government can raise it whenever they want, and, you know,
it's for hard liquor.
Well, no. But the tax on beer and wine, they didn't get rid of it.
Yeah, I know.
They just set it at 0
because of the hard liquor. Because of the hard liquor
still there, so they can bring it back whenever they want.
I know.
It seems like, you know, the government says temporary, but we're setting up a pyramid bureaucracy. But then you've got people whose full-time job is to fight to keep it because that's their job. Mm-hmm. If we lose the stamp duty, there's no justification for their job, so they're going to fight like hell to make sure we don't get rid of the stamp duty.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've never seen the Hong Kong government get rid of a government post. There's been a little merging, a little shuffling, but they generally don't get rid of them. So, yeah, it's just...
Well, so the questions today is it the sharks which are more dangerous, or is it the water?
Well,
it's more dangerous.
The water being the operating environment, yeah.
Yes.
You know, yeah. You know,
is it the sharks
it's getting
more
very
dangerous,
dangerous.
or the operating environment are more dangerous? Is it the big players that you want to be more cautious?
Yeah.
Or is it the water? I will think it's it's Hong Kong. It's a competitive environment.
Yeah.
So you have to learn how to swim with the sharks without being eaten alive.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's the guys that are in charge of the tank that get to decide what happens, and that's the government.
All right, let's pick sharks.
Okay, sharks.
Sharks, keyword.
All right.
Thank
Sounds
you,
good,
man.
Vincent.
Thank
Cheers.
you.